Okay, everybody, Stephanie Stevens here. Today we're going to talk about the years I worked at Lacage. I worked at Lacage for 11 years, and here in Toronto it was called an evening at Lacage, which featured celebrity female impersonators. Now, the one year, the producers decided to introduce the live acts to our shows. So they brought in this woman who did Elvis Presley and Roy Orbison into the show. She was fantastic live. I mean, fantastic. And her lookalikes were pretty good. But every night, she sat next to me in the dressing room. And she worked Friday and Saturday nights for both of our shows, because we had 2 shows on Friday night, 2 shows on Saturday. And then on Sundays, she would work sometimes for the matinee show, which was 1 o'clock. Now, we had the best time, me and her, because I had never worked next to a trans man. And, well, back then she identified as a lesbian. Later on in life, she decided she was born male. But anyway, that's not what the show is about. The show is about her transforming into the male celebrities that she used to do. So she would sit next to me, and I would watch how she would put herself together. So there was one night that she had these really big breasts, so she had to tie the breasts down, or what most women would say today is binding. It was the funniest thing with me and her girlfriend trying to duct tape her breasts down so she would look flat. It was the funniest thing. I will never forget that as long as I live. I laughed about that for a week. Well, we laughed about that because we couldn't. She looked like the mummy, all taped up, and saran wrapped up. It was the funniest thing in the world. You had to see it. It was the most comical thing. I wish we would have done some behind the scenes of Linda getting her breasts duct taped up and binded up for the shows every night. It was the most hilarious thing. And then she would use this new fabric and she would hot glue hair on it, so she would have hair for Elvis. Oh, I wish you guys could see. It was the most hilarious thing. It was the best days of show business because it was raw and real. And the things that we had to do to make ourselves look more realistic, well, what she had to do to make herself look more realistic for the male celebrities that she used to do. It was the most hilarious thing, and I miss those days. So if you're out there, Linda, you remember those days? We used to laugh for hours in the dressing room because you looked ridiculous. But the final product going on the stage, you looked fantastic, and you sang, and you had those people on their feet, and I will never forget that. It was the best time in the 1990s with an evening at Lacage and working with Linda, the Elvis and Roy Orbison impersonator. You really were fantastic, and you were so funny, and I'll never forget that as long as I live. And I want to tell y'all that little story about the trans man that I worked with in an evening at Lacage. Fantastic.